All right, guys, how's it going? Who'd have thought I'd be sat outside at the end of October cooking? Let's hope I get it all done before those clouds come over. Anyway, what are we doing today then? Well, I'm taking part in a collaboration called Noodle November 2022, and this is hosted by Tony at Kettle Kitchen. So what is Noodle November? It's going to be 2 recipes a day for the whole of November, you know, 60 odd recipes if you work it out. All different pasta dishes. And what I'll do, in the description below, I'll put a link to the playlist. There's going to be some brilliant recipes. On the 1st of December at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that's midnight on the 1st, early hours of the 2nd of December here in the UK, there's going to be a live giveaway for several prizes on Tony's Kettle Kitchen channel. And all you've got to do to be eligible to win prizes is to watch the videos, leave comments, and if you watch on the live giveaway, there's more chances of winning. The prizes can come from the comments, from hashtags, and from comments on the live chat itself. So, without further ado, let's get on with the cooking. What am I doing? I know you're dying to find out. What am I doing? I'm doing cheese and mushroom stuffed ravioli. So what we got for the filling then? Well, mushrooms, a shallot, we got some, I'm going to put some mustard in, and I like these designer mustards. This one's called Rib Tickler Horseradish Mustard. It's got a little bit of a bite to it and grains in it as well. Ricotta cheese, or you can use any soft cheese, black pepper. I'm putting capers in so I don't have to use salt, so that's going. Some mixed herbs, and just some grated cheese as well. I think that's the filling. This lot here is for the pasta. We got 00 grade flour, and for those of you who don't know, that is really finely milled flour. Great for pasta, great for pizzas. I'm going to put semolina in as well, and I use semolina for dusting, but the semolina gives it more of a pasta, more of a noodly structure. This would end up just like a bit of pizza, really. This is nice. And we got 3 eggs. 2 eggs and 1 yolk we need. So let's clear this lot away then and get cooking. Okay, we got about 200 grams of mushrooms. I'm using white mushrooms. You can use whatever you want. Brown mushrooms, chestnut mushrooms, shiitake, oysters, a mixture, dried, rehydrated, whatever. The more the merrier. But I'm just using plain white, 200 grams. And I'll convert this to American units. That's the wrong term, but you know what I mean. Now, normally with cooking, you do not want to mix imperial and metric units. If you start with metric, you stick with metric. 200 grams of mushrooms with 1 cup of flour when it's supposed to be 125 grams of flour doesn't always work. This recipe doesn't matter. It's ravioli. It's what you want to make it. If you were making a lush sponge cake, it would matter. So anyway, let's get on with it. First up, we need a sharp knife. So I always put a little edge on the knife before I start every bit of cooking. So that's that finished with, get them out of the way. And what we do with the mushrooms, just a quick wipe. So I'll just wipe all these, I'll bring you back. There we are, keep that tissue for later. Yeah, I'll just wipe them. Right, let me just show you different ways of chopping mushrooms. It's going to be coarse because we're going to blend them anyway. But let's get rid of those, out the way. Get rid of that shell. Right, if you're going to do mushrooms, they're roly. You don't want them roly. What you want is a flat. So cut a little piece off. It's then flat. And all you've got to do then is, there we are, sliced mushrooms. Easy peasy. Because if you were to try and do it like this, it'd probably work, but you know, it's easier not to. It's how I was shown how to chop mushrooms, so it's how I do it. And if you want a finer chop of a mushroom, what you can do is break the stalk off and chop that separately and just cut through like that, cut through like that, and then just go like that. And there you are, you've got lots of little bits of mushroom. But we're not doing that today, we're doing sliced mushrooms. So these are some very earthy mushrooms, very nice. Little tiny ones. Right, shallot next. This is a Zebrun shallot from my garden. So I'm just going to take the skin off. Look at that. Lovely jubbly. Oh, and this time we will slice it carefully. So what we do, look, this, I'm trying to show you, so it's awkward. Slice it in one direction, almost to the end, like this. I'll see if I can zoom in and do it. Then rotate it 90 degrees so the slits are downwards. Same again. And then when you slice it across the way, lots and lots of little bits of diced shallot. Bonus. Okay then, let's get the cooker going. Okay, so I'm doing this in a small frying pan. I'll tell you what, if you look at that, I've dropped this so many times. Cool. Still cooks though, so what's it matter, eh? And about a tablespoon of oil. Now this is olive oil, but it's not normal olive oil. It's not your extra virgin olive oil. This is just an olive oil, light in colour, and it's perfect for baking and frying. Some olive oils, they've got a very, very low smoke point and they're wasted basically. You're spending good money to fry with, you know. I've used this induction hob. I've used it more and more these days. It uses so little power compared to the main hob, you know. I've got gas, but with gas, you know, the flames come up the side. It works by creating a mega induction field, magnetic field. It interferes with the steel, and well, that is baking hot already. So, in with a shallot. Here we go, let's cook those down. All we're trying to do is sweat them down a little bit. And I'll film this on my phone because I'm not going to move the camera. We don't really want any colour on this. Just to get them sweating down a little bit. You see the big bit there I missed. Like I said, doesn't matter. So in with the mushrooms. It's that quick. And again, we're just trying to sweat the mushrooms down a bit. Reduce them in size. We don't want to brown them. Just want to cook them through. If you're can you see me? If you're ever frying and you think things are a little bit too dry, never ever put more oil in. What you do is you put a dash of water in, and this was shown to me by Ken Hom, famous Chinese chef. Then watch this. I'm going to try and do it on my phone as well, so excuse me a second. It's a little bit dry. And there we are, look, it's revitalised everything. Oh. There we are. Brilliant. It's more for Chinese stir frying really when things get a bit dry, but it works. Well, I reckon that's done now. We don't want to blitz this hot, so I'm going to put it back in this little container and let it cool down a little bit. Then we'll mix it all up with the rest of the ingredients. Stick this in the blender bowl. I'm only using the little tiny one for this. There's no point going mad. And like I said, guys, there's no exact measurements for this. So a sprinkle of black pepper, a few dried herbs. I could have picked some out in my garden, but it doesn't matter. Just give a bit of flavour, isn't it? Like capers, I'm using capers because I don't want to use salt, and this caper juice is very, very salty. Yes, it is. Oh, it'll give it a little bit of a piquance. Is that the right word? So I think that's, yeah, 2 teaspoons of those. That'll do. 2 and a bit. The mustard, I'm going to put, oh, that's good stuff. Monty's a rib tickler. I'm going to put a good teaspoon of that in. Yeah. Like I said, it is quite a warm one, that. And the ricotta, about a tablespoon. About a tablespoon, like I said, about a tablespoon. Maybe 2. 2. And what I'll do, I'll blitz this down a little bit, then put some more cheese in. So. some cheese in. This is a mix of mozzarella and red Leicester. And very nice it is too. There we are then, that'll do. Bit of a mess, but you know. So that's the filling done. There we go, that'll do. I'll just set that over there, clear this lot away and get on with the floury bits. Okay then, that's a quick tidy up. So we need the flour. I'm using, like I said, 00. It's especially made for pasta and pizzas, so why not use it? And I want 175 grams. Yeah, that's zeroed. No need to sieve it. There's no point sieving modern flours. All the nasty bits have been taken out. It's not like you're back in the medieval days with weevils and the grist and everything, you know. Okay, that's, yep, 175 grams and 75 grams of semolina. Just gives it a bit more crunch, that's all. I'll be careful cutting this one. Little tip when you're cutting these sort of bags, if you fold those wings back first and then cut it, you should get a pouring spout. It probably won't work now. There we are, sort of anyway. 75 grams, that takes it up to 250. Here we are, 250. And I'll leave those open because we need those. Right, give it a bit of a mixing up just to distribute it. That'll do, and I'm going to mix this on the table. You can do it in the bowl. I'm not going to. I'm going to do this like this. So, make a nice mound. Just hope it's not too windy. Nice well in the centre. And we need the eggs. And what I always do with eggs, I always do this, no matter what I'm making, I always crack my eggs into a container first. You may cook for 5-10 years, never had a bad egg. And the one day that you use 8 eggs and the 9th egg is bad, you've ruined the lot. So I always crack it into a bowl, or whatever, a cup or a measuring jug. That's all right. So there's 1. 2. Hope this isn't going to spill out. And we need the yolk from the 3rd one, so let's crack it all round. Just the yolk. General rule is 1 egg per 100 grams plus a yolk. So there we go. And I'll save that for later. So we're going to break the yolks. I'm trying to do this and film on my phone at the same time. And just stir them around. And gradually, the egg pulls the flour in from the sides of the well. Very slowly, very, very slowly. And once you get it into a big gooey mess, you get your fingers in there. So it's mixing well, look. Here we go, it's looking more like a dough now. Bit of a cake dough at the moment, but it's a dough. Let's get some more flour in there, get it going. There we are. And when it's thick enough, just get your fingers in. And I think that's about ready. Here we go then. Just hope that wind don't blow all this away. When it comes together, if you've got too much left over, just leave it. It doesn't matter. You get the feel for it. It will feel right. You know what I mean? I'm going to leave that little bit there. I'm going to leave it over there. It's always there if I need it. Look. Need it. And we're just going to give it a kneading now. That's what we're going to do. Well, that's my workout for the day. Just knead it, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. Just bring it into a ball. Yeah, it's a little bit dry, but it'll be all right. So form it round. You can tell it's all right because the skin's not splitting. Okay, so wrap it up in cling film or what do you call it in America? Saran wrap. This is supposed to be automatic, this, but there we are. I just leave it to rest 5 to 10 minutes. You're just doing this to stop a crust forming on it. Leave it at room temperature, or in my case outdoors. Don't put it in the fridge. Now I'll clear this up and more clearing up, and I'll bring you back in 5 minutes. Well, that's been 5 minutes, so time 2. Now I'm going to use the semolina for dusting the work surface, because it's a bit heavier than flour and it's getting windy out here. So there we are. And we've got the resting dough. It's been 5 minutes. Yeah, so cut it in half. And remember, from now on, whatever you do with one half, you do with the other. So let's cover that again. So we form it into a sort of squarish looking rectangle. Get it as thin as you can with your fingers. He says. We're on the 0 setting, the lowest setting, and we're going to try and put it through. So, there we go. And what we do for the first couple of times is, oh, that's good. That come out very, very good. I'm happy with that. What we do is we fold it in on itself twice, like that. Okay. We feed it through again. And once more, it's got a bit too much semolina on there actually, but and once more. I'm going to do it this way this time. Okay, so that's one rolled through 3 times. Same again, in your hands, just make it into a nice pliable rectangle, as he says. On the same setting for the first couple of times through, because all we're trying to do is layer the dough a little bit. And what I did with the last one is I put it through on its side, so I'll put this one through on its side. There we are. Cool, happy with that, good shape as well. Little pile of semolina to work with. Some more in a minute. What we'll do now, gradually decrease the sizes. So we're down to number 1, or is it up to number 1? Who can tell? And it should get longer and longer. I'll pass each one through twice to start off with. And what the semolina's for is just a little sprinkle on it, just to stop it sticking it to itself. There we are. So there we are then, that's number 1. Number 2. Looking good so far. Number 3. Got me tie. See, I can use both hands. I'll give my right arm to be ambidextrous. Oh dear. What are we on now? We're on number 5 already. I'll tell you what guys, that's good. I'm going to stop there. So very quick dusting of a bit more semolina just to stop it sticking together. I've got far too much for what I need, as always. That'll do. Okay, let's get rid of this. God, I'm going to stick that bloody... Ugh. Sorry. Okay then, so nicely dusted surface. Like I said, I got far too much, so let's cut a decent bit out. We'll save that. That's really getting me down now. Anyway, whatever. Let it blow over you, Steve. Woo-sa. Woo-sa. You like that, Phil? Bad Boy's brilliant. Right, anyway. So what I like to do is, just so I know what I'm doing, I use the thinner sheet, the narrower sheet, so that's the thicker one of the two. This one's a little bit narrower. Use the narrow sheet for the bottom, the wider one for the broader one for the top. And what I do is a little impression, just a little impression with the pasta cutter, the sealer cutter, just a little impression so I know where I'm dumping my filling. Because if I just did it random, they'd be too close together. You know, I know me, you know what I mean? So there we are, let's see, just make a little impression. There we are, it's a bit deeper, that one. So I know where I'm going to put my filling. Okay, so filling. I'm using a teaspoon for this. You could use things like a melon baller. That works quite well. Ice cream scoop if you want a lot of it. What I'm going to do is put a bit in the centre of each. I mean, I made far too much filling, really. Trying to keep a teaspoon. But it's one of those things, you know, if I made less, it wouldn't work. Sometimes you've got to make more to get the effect in there, you know. Trying to put in, say, half a teaspoon of capers into a small dish just wouldn't work. I know what I'm talking about, guys. And don't worry, this won't go to waste. I'll be using this again. What you're trying to do is keep them in the circle, so then you know that your cutter will cut them out without squashing them halfway through. There we are. I could probably fit in a few more in there if I'd have measured accurately, but that'll do. That'll do. So what I do now, lay the next sheet on top. Now, let me just do a little trial. Yes, it is going to stick together. So we don't need any moisture. Don't need any moisture. Just take the excess off. Excess flour, excess semolina. And what you do, as you lay it over, and that side's stickier, so I use that side. As you lay it over, just form around the ball to get it in the air pockets. You'll see what I'm doing in a minute. I'll try and do it with the phone. So what we're doing, we're layering it over the top of the filling, like that. And as it goes over, from the loose end, just push the air out like this. See? There we are. Okay then, well here's the raviola shape cutter, if you like. Now, it's not a sharp edge like you think. It's sort of sharp, but it's blunt, and what it does, it pushes the two halves of the pasta together. So, like that. I'm hoping. Yeah, that'll do. Open, we get a good seal. Well, there we go, guys. 2, 4, 6, 7 pieces of ravioli. And I got a feeling I should be having some in a few seconds. So let's find a bowl. Oh, let's put those back in the bowl. And what you can do with these, keep these in the fridge at least, ooh, I don't know, 3 or 4 days easy. And what we do, sprinkle each one with a little bit of semolina or flour. Semolina's better because it dries out the moisture, I think. Should stop them sticking together. Okay, so I think, I'm not going to waste this, don't worry. This is going to go into a bowl in the fridge and I'll be making something else tomorrow, probably using that as well. Okay, I've got some water on the boil, ready for the obligatory taste test, and I am so looking forward to this. About a teaspoon of salt per half a litre of water is not a lot, so I'm going to cook 2 pieces. I want the rest for later. A quick dressing to go with it. So I've got Pizza Express house dressing. Good glug of that. And to bring out some of the flavours in the stuffed pasta, we got some American mustard. Hot dog mustard, I love this stuff. This is Dino's famous mustard. I bet you guys over there probably never heard of it. Ooh. Good glug of that as well. And a few herbs just to bring out the flavour in the pasta as well. So, not too many. Ooh. Right, let's set that to one side. This is now a rolling boil, as I'd call it. Yeah. In with 2 pieces of pasta. 2 ravioli. What do you reckon? 3, 4 minutes? Yeah. Just praying they don't split. Looking good so far. Well, there we are then. That was 4 minutes. And what I'm going to do is going to put these on the plate with a little bit of tissue to start off with, just to soak up the excess water. Right, guys, I have so been looking forward to this. Only 2 little pieces. It may seem not a lot, but I've got some more for later on, haven't I? So, there we are. What's that look like? Oh, it looks all right. It looks very good. Not too much sauce on the first bit because it's about the filling, isn't it? Yeah. What can I say? We got the mushrooms, we got the shallots, we got the cheese. Exactly what I aimed for. So, and the sauce filling, the dressing's very nice. I like that. It's a nice one, guys. I've made it a few times before, but this is probably the nicest one I've made. And I'm not just saying that. Well, there you are, guys. Hope you've enjoyed that. I certainly have, and I'll be looking forward to eating the rest later on. Cheese and mushroom stuffed ravioli.